There's been a major change to a match at WWE Survivor Series tonight. We've got possible Royal Rumble plans, and AEW's Being the Elite has been scrapped. Stay tuned for the news. It's a big night of wrestling because it is Survivor Series, and we'll be doing a lot of coverage for Survivor Series tonight. Of course, just to get the plugs in early, make sure you join Adam and Andrew right here on YouTube for live reactions.
YouTube.com/Cultaholic/live.
He's got it. Well, there's been a major change to one of the matches that they will be reacting to.
All right, I'm out then.
You're
I'm
out.
done.
Sam's
I'm
done. Sam's done. Well, don't be too hasty right now, because it looks like it's going to be a really bloody good match. Originally, it was scheduled for Carlito versus Santos Escobar.
Yeah.
However, on last night's SmackDown, Santos Escobar sort of confronted Carlito. Carlito was still sort of was running his not running his mouth. He was telling off Santos Escobar.
Well, Santos he's been out of line.
He's been a naughty
He's been
boy.
a bit out of line.
And Carlito wanted him to go away. But Santos Escobar came down to the ring and was like, "You're the reason for all the chaos in the LWO." Okay? And Carlito and him started brawling, and Santos got the upper hand, leading to an injury to Carlito. Unfortunately, when we went backstage, Carlito was still nursing his injury. He was nursing his arm. It looked like he wouldn't be able to compete. And then Santos tried to injure him again, even more so. But Dragon Lee made the save. And it's been revealed that tonight on Survivor Series, it will be Dragon Lee versus Santos Escobar.
Big Nick Aldis confirming it.
Absolutely. Santos Escobar is in for a world of hurt because Dragon Lee's pretty damn good.
Yeah, it's going to be a hell of a matchup. I think Dragon Lee's had... he's had quite the debut so far. This is a massive, massive matchup. I mean, it's like the Survivor Series audience, maybe the more casual fans who aren't so familiar with Dragon Lee are going to be very familiar with Dragon Lee after this evening. But I think that, in terms of all of the matchups that could be there, and in terms of the fact that, not too long ago we maybe would have just scrapped the match altogether, I think this is a great get.
It is a really great get. And it sort of like positions, as you said, Dragon Lee in front of an audience that maybe might not be as familiar with him.
Yep.
And puts him on his first pay-per-view, his first WWE pay-per-view or premium live event.
Just like that.
Just like that.
Yeah.
Getting straight involved in the storyline of the LWO and Santos Escobar. And Santos Escobar has been on an incredible run right now as a heel. And it's only just getting started, but he's so good at being a bit of a knobber. and I'm very excited to see. I think he will maybe beat Dragon Lee.
I think so, but maybe not in a very clean manner.
Exactly, because I think he's going to get a little help from some friends.
Well, that's it. The LWO train doesn't look like it's about to stop rolling.
Exactly. Well, according to the Wrestling Observer, in the newsletter this week, original plans for the LWO saw Wilde and Del Toro siding with Escobar. And they would feud with Ray, Carlito, and a third person, which looks to be now Dragon Lee.
Yeah.
However, current plans now have NXT's The Garzas scheduled to be called up and side with Escobar. And there's also speculation that Elektra Lopez, who was originally part of the Legado del Fantasma, could be on her way to the main roster to join them as well.
So you're telling me we're going to get an LWO versus LWO Wolfpack, or LWO 2000, or we could do all sorts of stuff here.
Yep, LWO Hollywood.
I'm buzzing for the Garzas to be back up and kind of with a bit of a fresh feel to them. I think obviously a lot of people are still going to remember them from their time separately, in and around the main roster, but they were never properly utilized. It felt like Angel Garza got used very well. For a very brief period, whereas Humberto, it was kind of like,
He's got great dimples.
Yeah.
That's his thing.
He can flip.
He
can do so much more.
And I'm hopefully he will get to do so much more as part of this storyline. If they do indeed get called up this week at Survivor Series tonight. If not, it looks like it is in the works. It is scheduled according to this report. And I think they will be able to have a really nice rivalry between the two groups of the LWO. One side, Legado del Fantasma, the other, LWO with Ray.
Yeah.
But it's a matter of time of how long is Ray going to be out, and when because that pop's going to be massive when we get...
Ray's had surgery recently, so
feels like
expect to see him back before he's able to compete, obviously, because he's pivotal to this storyline. But
and the fact that they're putting Dragon Lee in there, it feels like it's this is our next Ray.
Yeah,
this is the guy.
We know we've told you 35 times already, but this is our next Ray.
This is the next Rey Mysterio. He's got a mask and everything. But we've got another update on some WWE storylines just now, and specifically Shinsuke Nakamura.
You don't need to tell me, it's CM Punk. Did you not see those 5 seconds of frame where that small outline appeared in the corner? And if you zoom in and it gets really pixelated, it's very clearly just an outline of CM Punk. And if you look closely, you're actually see his face. His face is just right there. If you just squint hard enough, you can just see him, and you can hear him shout, "It's clobbering time." So if it's not CM Punk Fraser, then I don't want to know.
You don't want to know. Well, it seems like nobody knows. It seems like nobody knows who it's going to be, because that is the news from Fightful Select. Shinsuke Nakamura is currently not scheduled to be part of Survivor Series, despite speculation that maybe this open challenge or whoever he's been calling out would take place at Survivor Series. And I think that's a lot of where the CM Punk speculation obviously comes from. And of course, the numerous teases of go to sleeps and quoting promos. But that's a whole different topic. But part of the report from Fightful Select, it states that the talent involved and talent in WWE don't know who the cryptic teases are for, and neither does creative. It's apparently being kept very well guarded. It's a mystery to many backstage,
right?
Which is surprising. You would think that they would have something planned. However, it goes on to say that one talent that Fightful spoke to has theorized it could be someone from Japan, and one source in creative assumes it's someone new, but nobody that Fightful has heard from knows who exactly it is.
Imagine after all the GTS teasers and stuff, it's Kenta.
It's Kenta.
I would still go mental.
It would be a major
I'd be a bit
break.
worried, but I'd still go mental.
Yeah, because we know how it went last time for Kenta in WWE.
Oh my God, it's Hideo Itami! No, I think for me, like, there's all the speculation about Punk, right? Yeah. And it just feels like a bit of an odd place to bring him back.
With Shinsuke.
To just sort of throw him into a match with Shinsuke. I get that it's like a big challenge type thing, and the place is still going to absolutely, explode if it is Punk, but part of me feels like he's more of a Rumble return type guy. A
Rumble or Survivor Series where you've got him in front of his hometown crowd. But so I think we can say it's not CM Punk. But the fact that what is in the report,
I don't know, mate. There's like 11 pixels, but very clearly
CM Punk.
I could see the X on the fists.
There was Larry the dog. It
said CM Punk underneath it.
The fact that it says they think it's from someone from Japan, though, it makes me think that they're going to hold these teases off right past January until they can bring in Okada, because they've got an interest in him. We know that from previous reports. That
it depends whether he's interested in going there, though. That's the thing. He's the guy in New Japan. But if he's done everything there,
he has.
I get, but he is the guy.
They went, you can get your first feud with your mate, and it's him versus Shinsuke at WrestleMania.
Yeah, I can see.
Would you want it?
I can see
Let us know in the comments below.
I don't know if they're going to let him go an hour, though.
I don't think they'd give them an hour. Definitely not. Maybe
he just turns into nut shots again.
They just have them wrestle throughout the entire Royal Rumble match so that they can have the hour.
Put them in their own second ring and let them have the entire length of the pay-per-view.
And while everything else goes on.
Yeah.
Well, maybe that we'll finally get. We're not going to reveal at Survivor Series. We might get a reveal at Royal Rumble for that one, but we've got some plans about the Royal Rumble. What's happening with the Universal title, Sam?
So it's a bit skew-whiff, isn't it?
Yeah.
With current undisputed WWE Universal Champion Roman Reigns set to miss this weekend's Survivor Series premium live event, his next major title defense will most likely come at Royal Rumble at the back end of January. The Tribal Chief last defended his title against LA Knight at Crown Jewel on November 4th, and according to the latest edition of the Wrestling Observer newsletter, WWE Chief Content Officer Paul Levesque, Triple H, is not looking to book the rematch for when the company visits Tropicana Field on January 7th, so it doesn't look like it's going to be happening at the Rumble. No. Meltzer added that while there are some backstage who feel like Knight should be given the spot, Levesque has another idea in mind as of now, so I don't know how we're going to get there. We've got, like a month? 2 months.
We've got
really
2 months
with the build.
Of prep.
Yeah,
2 months of build once Survivor Series is done.
LA Knight can't just be brushed aside, so we need to sort of handle that well in order to have Roman kind of divert him.
Yeah, and sort of move on from that. I feel like we might get Roman versus AJ Styles. I think we've had teases of that in the past with how AJ was injured and taken off TV. But the thing is, what do you do with LA Knight? Maybe a Rumble, in the Rumble himself, or going after the US title or something like that.
Yeah, I still think he needs the rematch, though. This is the thing. I want to see him Roman again, and I don't know if it's something you can just sort of put at Mania, because a lot of people are kind of holding Mania up on this pedestal of like, who's it going to be?
Cody.
Is it going to be time to finish the story? Is it going to be another shock? Talent? Is it? What's it going to be? So I think that it needs to be handled in a certain way. Maybe Roman takes Knight out of the equation for now.
Okay.
Maybe he's written off storyline wise, but I think it needs to be handled, because otherwise, if you just sort of have LA Knight go, I'm going to go after Logan Paul. So yeah, you're going to get a lot of press and a lot of coverage from it, and you're going to have a lot more eyes on LA Knight, but it does feel like he should be more fixated on Roman right now.
On Roman and getting that Universal title that he was kind of robbed from because of how the match went down and the shenanigans that were involved.
Stick him in a steel cage next time.
That's what we need to do. But unfortunately, not at the Royal Rumble. But finally, we're going to end on some AEW and Being the Elite news. Of course, it was in the Wrestling Observer and recent reports that the Being the Elite was going on hiatus, and it was all part of this storyline with the Young Bucks. They're going to come back. We discussed it yesterday on the news. Check that one out as well. But in an update and on his report that Being Elite was on hiatus, Dave Meltzer has confirmed that it's not on hiatus. It's been scrapped altogether. He says it's not on hiatus, it's actually done, and there currently is no plans for it to be brought back.
Well, I'll treat it like a wrestling retirement. You know, there's always going to be a chance for it to come back, but I think all good things have got to come to an end, right, at some point. And, you know, with what the Bucks do in and around AEW, with, you know, what they must be doing backstage in their other position within the company, because they're not just, you know, in front of the camera wrestlers, it's going to get harder and harder. And it must have been almost impossible at times to be on top of that, making sure it's being produced, making sure that, you know, it's moving forward in the way that they need it to move forward, and that, you know, it's still hitting all the marks and it's still getting out there for the fans, right? So, like, I get it. It's got to be hard to kind of have to juggle so many things and then add about 7 more things to juggle while having to juggle that.
It just feels like, for me, that the show has run its course a little bit. Being Elite, it's been going on for years and years and years.
They've done everything, right? What else is there left for them to do? So I think, you know, if it goes away for a while, you know, this might be the kind of goodbye. But if there ever comes a point where it's needed again, I think it'll just be boom, straight back, and people will be really happy.
Being Elite 2, Electric Boogaloo. It's a whole new series. But that is all we've got for you just now. We'll be back later on today with more wrestling news. Make sure to check out cultaholicshop.com, because we've got a 50% off discount on everything, Sam.
Mugs, t-shirts, Christmas cards. Get your Christmas cards. There's 3-pack Christmas cards on there.
The t-shirts, the Barry the Sharks.
Scarves.
There's
Barry the Shark.
There's everything on there. And you don't even need a code. It's just applied at checkout. So make sure you go and check out cultaholicshop.com.
And make sure you keep it here with us, as we said at the start, for all of your Survivor Series coverage. Adam and Andrew live tonight, youtube.com/cultaholic/live.
You're getting
we'll
good at
have
that.
all of the usual content in and around following the show. You know the deal. You know what's coming. You know what's happening.
Right.
And also, the podcast's live. Get it listened to, you monsters.
Get it in your ears. We will catch you later on with more wrestling news. See you then.